I have a motion to adopt the recognition?
Second.
Roll call?
County Commissioner Escobar Garber.
Yes.
County Commissioner
Yes.
Kenny. County Commissioner
Yes.
Capel. County Commissioner Tamara.
Yes.
County Commissioner Deputy Director Nara.
Yes. Correspondence?
Each commissioner is provided with a list of correspondence received by our postmaster since our last meeting. This correspondence will be kept by the file in the office of the clerk of court.
Do I have a motion to accept the correspondence?
Motion to accept.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And minutes for approval?
Minutes of Thursday, December 7th, 2023, 7 o'clock p.m. meeting.
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call?
County Commissioner Escobar Garber.
Yes.
County
Yes.
Commissioner Kenny. County Commissioner
Yes.
Capel. County Commissioner Tamara.
Yes.
County Commissioner Deputy Director Nara.
Yes. Reports of commissioners. Commissioner Scott Barber?
Thank you, Deputy Director Nara. I don't have any report, just want to wish everybody a happy holidays and a happy and healthy New Year to everyone.
Thank you. Commissioner Kenny?
I submit the same report that Commissioner Scott Barber just submitted. So,
Commissioner Capel?
Just for expediency, I would like to triple that wish, and that everyone has a really safe, joyous, and warm holiday with your friends and family.
Commissioner Tamara?
I have a long report, sorry. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Have a good one. Thank you.
And I too will keep it short, but not only on behalf of the board and Director Rios, who couldn't be here with us tonight, but also I'm sure on behalf of all of the employees and staff from throughout the county, I want to wish all the residents of the county a safe and happy holiday season. Mr. Kelso, are there any resolutions to be added?
There are none.
Any resolutions to be amended?
There are none.
Any resolutions to be held?
There are none.
Any resolutions to be voided?
There are none.
I'd like to now open up the public discussion on the resolutions listed on the agenda only.
Good evening, Commissioners. Charlie Cradaville, New Brunswick today. I'd like to ask about the first one is the agreement, privatization agreement for the Roosevelt Care Centers. Can anybody give me any kind of report on how it's gone so far and why you've chosen to extend it for a year?
I would just simply indicate that we're working through the process of putting together all the terms of the agreement that's necessary in order to close out a transfer. And there's a lot of implications to it, so it takes time. Our expectation is that it will be done during the course of this coming year.
So when you say a transfer, you mean straight up selling the whole thing to Robert Wood Johnson Partners?
That's part of the original agreement.
Interesting. So the original agreement had a provision for potentially a full transfer, and that's the direction the county wants to go.
Correct.
Okay. Can you give any insight into the finances of it? Is it a money losing?
I wouldn't get into
Venture.
that. It's all part of discussions that are going on and negotiations, but we're working on the framework in order to do that during the next coming year.
Okay. And I presume that improvement authority is on the same page about this. Okay. I also wanted to ask about another $4.5 million for AVA Top Right LLC. This is media buying, I guess. Can anybody tell me, why this is a good use of county funds? On page 3, 1720 is the number. It's $4.5 million to this company that you've already given lots of millions of dollars to. This is all for advertising and marketing. Is this worthwhile?
Well, Charlie, we've spent a lot of time in the county discussing this, and we've come to believe that there are some really fundamental reasons why it's critically important for us to use marketing and media through every channel available, not only to effectively deliver information about the county that's directly relevant for our residents, but also to attract more businesses and people who want to come work and live in the city and establish those businesses. So it is certainly, we've seen that our prior investment in this area has been fortuitous for the county, and so we want to continue in this line. So that's why we are continuing this, and I can ask for, Ann, I don't know if you have anything you want to add to that, you don't have to, but if there's anything you want to add.
This is the second year of a 3-year contract, solicited as a competitive contract, which is one of the forms of contracting under the local public contracts law. And those types of solicitations are awarded based on evaluation criteria, not necessarily the lowest bid when price and other factors are involved in evaluating the best person for the job.
Yeah, I forget, was this a bid, this contract?
It was called a competitive contract, which is one of the types of solicitations allowed under the local public contracts law. So it was, yes, it was competitive. It was opened up to anybody who wanted to respond, but they had to meet certain criteria and they had to propose a plan of how they were going to do things, and all that was evaluated, and that's how they won the contract.
Thank you, I think that's all I have on the resolutions.
Hi, yes, Danielle Morris, Somerset Street. I've got a question on 1737 about a little over $1 million for homeless contract. You can tell me what this is, due to where I know, especially here in New Brunswick, we have at least 3 times amount of homeless people than we had last year.
Melissa?
That's the social services for the homeless grant that we received from the state of New Jersey. So it goes to support emergency shelter. It goes to support domestic violence shelters that also act as emergency shelter. And it also provides case management services. So those are like the Osmond Family Shelter, the Osmond Men's Shelter. Those are the things that fall under that grant.
Well, I have to say, would you also mention the men's shelter due to where is there a women's shelter here in New Brunswick?
Not New Brunswick. In Edison, that family shelter is for women and families.
Well, then, like I said, with the situation due to where maybe, I know your team goes out and it's a certain time of the year to check where locations are. If I can give you heads up, give you a list due to where you will see.
Yeah, we do a point in time count the 3rd Thursday in January. So if you want to give me that list, that would be great.
Okay, then like I said, 3 times as much than what it was last year.
And Perth Amboy have higher numbers than
Oh,
everybody.
New Brunswick is much
Yeah.
worse than Perth Amboy, believe me. Then the other one that I was looking into, that's about 1786. As far as with dealing with gang, guns, narcotics and all with the police. Can you explain this one? What is this for?
One second. One second.
Well, I don't want my time to waste.
Danielle, I'm pretty sure this is a grant that is awarded for us to use in operations to seek out illegal gang activity and gun dealing and everything else. So we oftentimes run operations and we get supported by grants from the state and the federal level.
Well, okay, now, I'm glad that you said that due to where, wow, how many shootings and how many people we have lost here in New Brunswick related to guns and narcotics and gang related due to where, wow, because what? Our sorry mayor and New Brunswick Police Department does not really do their jobs. And like I said, I'm glad to see the money is being put out for things, but the problem is, wow, do I see the city of New Brunswick departments doing what they should be doing with the money? No, I do not. And like I said, as a resident of almost 47 years of New Brunswick was never like this. But like I said, we're gonna see a change. Second.
Roll call? Oh, no, that's a voice vote, I'm sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.
anyone have any items that they need to have removed and voted on separately?
Right at, Director, 1741.
And then, anyone else? No, then I have to ask for Resolution 1765 to be voted upon separately. So, Mr. Kelso.
Yes, Deputy Director, a motion would then be in order to adopt a consent agenda consisting of resolution numbers 23-1716 through resolution 23-1788, excluding resolutions 23-1741 and 23-1765 to be voted upon separately.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to adopt consent agenda?
Roll call.
County Commissioner Escobar Garber?
Yes.
County Commissioner
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
County Commissioner Coppell? County Commissioner Tamara?
Yes.
County Commissioner Deputy Director Nara?
Yes.
And now, Deputy Director, would be appropriate to consider the resolution excluded by Commissioner Tamaro, and that's resolution 23-1741.
Yes. Roll call?
County Commissioner Escobar Garber?
Yes.
County Commissioner
Yes.
Kenny? County Commissioner Coppell?
Yes.
County Commissioner Tamara?
President not voting?
County Commissioner Deputy Director Nara?
Yes.
Now, finally, Deputy Director, the motion would be in order to adopt a resolution which is excluded by yourself, and that's resolution 23-1765.
Motion?
Second.
Roll call.
County Commissioner Escobar Garber?
Yes.
County
Yes.
Commissioner Kenny? County Commissioner Coppell?
Yes.
County Commissioner Tamara?
Yes.
County Commissioner Deputy Director Nara?
Present but not voting. All right, I would like to now open the public discussion on any item.
Again, Charlie Cranaville. I appreciate the recognition of Homeless Memorial Day, Homeless Persons Memorial Day, but I think we have to really recognize that this is an issue that's not getting the attention and the action it really deserves 365 days a year. The annual point-in-time count of homeless persons in New Brunswick jumped from 163 to 244 in the past year. And the city of New Brunswick reported to HUD, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, that it constructed 0 units of affordable housing between July 22 and June 23. And I can't square this because, we know the solution to the problem is housing, but we're not getting enough housing to the right people. And so we have all these stopgaps where the county's paying to have people stay in motels and hotels, and they're isolated, and they don't have good transportation. And, people in my neighborhood are dependent on a program called Code Blue, where the old firehouse in our neighborhood is turned into an overnight shelter. And just learned recently that it's at capacity every night. 27 persons is all that it can hold. I know the county has chipped in a modest $90,000 to make that Code Blue center open when the law says it should be. And I think we need to do more than the law requires, because, for instance, a huge storm with harsh winds and flooding befell us. There was no Code Blue that night. The folks who didn't have homes in my neighborhood were desperate and had nowhere to go. Even when there is a Code Blue, if you're not one of the first 27 people there, you're turned away. And believe it or not, they tell you to come here to 1 block away. If you're really desperate, you can sleep on the cold floor of the police station lobby at 25 Kirkpatrick Street. And now I've learned that the management of the building, the KMS Development Partners, or whoever's representing themselves as in charge of the building, say we can't have that anymore. So Code Blue is going to now, my understanding, direct the overflow crowd to walk downtown and go to a place where they're not actually welcome, and they're going to be turned away because some people don't want that in the building. And listen, we got to do better than that. To say that the solution is you can sleep on the floor, no cot, in the police station lobby and be vulnerable with all the lights on and try to get a good night's sleep there. That's unacceptable. If the code blue location is routinely filling up, we need another code blue location, either one that can meet the capacity or a second to meet the excess that's needed. And what's the update on that? What is the county doing about code blue filling up in New Brunswick?
We put out a proposal to every municipality in Middlesex County it went out late October in October for Code Blue. The Commissioner Board has been very vocal in trying to get other municipalities to step up to provide the service, so it doesn't fall on New Brunswick and Perth Amboy to provide the service for pretty much the whole county. We did get more responses this year than we ever had before. We had some other towns in the community come forward and ask for funding to support programs that they have, which would hope that would keep folks from having to come to New Brunswick or Perth Amboy. So it's a constant, the way the legislation is set up is that it's a municipal responsibility. The county gets funding from the state. We also have a homeless trust fund that we use dollars for to support this. I can tell you that New Brunswick and Perth Amboy both came in for much more money this year, and we're working with them right now to get contracts in place to help them because the code blue season goes from November to April, so that $90,000 was for last year. There's a new pot of money that they're getting money from this year, so that contract will be in the future. So we're supporting them in what they can do, and we're trying to get those other municipalities to step up so the burden doesn't fall on the cities.
Well, thanks for that. I certainly think that we have over 200 people who have a need here. We need more than 27 beds in New Brunswick. It's nice if other towns can step up and do things in their town, but the folks are here. It's cold tonight. Code Blue's probably going to fill up tonight, and we don't have a real solution to the problem. So I would ask the county to immediately look into your assets, your real estate that you have, your places, get some cots, get a place open, do it today, do it this weekend, make sure it's in place. Nobody should be sleeping on the floor at 25 Kirkpatrick Street or out in the elements. People are going to lose their lives. We can't let that happen. Thank you. Happy holidays.
Well, I would say first, happy holidays, everyone. I will continue on with what Mr. Crowder was saying due to where, please, we had a man froze to death two weeks ago over by Townsend Street due to where we really need more shelter for, like I said, now I say it's going to be more than 250 homeless. Like I said, once I give you the locations of where all of the homeless are and they're not really cited. I'm disappointed due to where I was told by Keith Jones, it's under county rules that they can sleep in the police lobby. And then one of our officers, Officer Moore, had the nerve to go over to Code Blue and tell tell them not to send anyone down there. The police department has no control of that. And like I said, due to where I've been making sure, due to where the police are so lazy, they can't even ride around on speaker announcing Code Blue like they do, where I walk through the areas where I know the homeless are and I announce it to them. I've been also giving my time volunteering where I just came from. I'm tired, where I made a nice huge pot of soup today, was added to the group on Remsen and Seaman Street. We're donating to people. And one thing I'm making sure, like I said, no matter what race, creed, or color, we need each other. I tell the people, like I said, in every location, George Street, train station, French Street, Seaman Street, whatever area, I make sure I tell them all due to where I'm well known. And one thing I need to speak up on due to where we're going to need much more money for feeding. With Elijah Promise not serving on Sundays anymore, and then due to I've been volunteering at the United Methodist Church with serving, wow, it's these 72 meals go in 15 minutes? Come on. And like I said, with a lot of these new Code Blue, I say that you should make a law order on. Please, if this is New Brunswick, let it be New Brunswick residents. I just passed through, coming through there. You had at least 6 people over there lying already. They're not even from New Brunswick. See, when you can't go to Perth Amboy, drunk or high, where they always come over here to New Brunswick, where New Brunswick just lets whoever in, and I think you should put a stop to that. If it's New Brunswick, let New Brunswick residents be in, not others. That's what's taking the room from a lot of our people where we can't get it, because half of those aren't even New Brunswick. So please, like I said, more money on support with shelter and food due to where we have a lot of new heads in our town. I would like to also speak to Mr. Ron Sanders due to on December 8th. I know you said give you time, but I have to say I'm really nervous on the corner of Jersey Avenue and Hill Street. You had your first motor vehicle crash there with that light. That was last week due to where the crossing guards can tell you. Can you please give me an update due to where I feel this is an urgent matter, that light needs to be turned on auto, where the walkways come on auto without pressing the button due to where the traffic flows from the camera. That's due to where I explained to you, it's blocked off, so no traffic is gonna come from that side. It makes the lights stand green, and it doesn't change. So please, can I get an answer on what would that happen, please?
Still sorting through that issue, Danielle. I'm trying to understand why the crossing guards closed off the entrance to the school in the morning. I make a point to drive through there, but the predominant movement is on Jersey Avenue, and the crossing guards are quick to cross people no matter what color the signal is. They have the children cross the street. They're always there, in the morning and the afternoon.
Well, that's because sometimes the kids doesn't listen, and then what, God forbid, something happens due to where, I just got a text message and I spoke at city council. Please, if a crossing guard is not out, by law, due to where the police officer is supposed to cover. But like I said, due to where, how many times do I have to keep saying, wow, the Brunswick Police Department is getting paid to sit on their rear end, and it's very sad. Like I said, 47 years almost in New Brunswick. Never liked this before. But like I said, we're going to see a change, but I'm begging you, please. Like I said, for a reason with that light, due to where a car crashed there already. And like I said, the purpose, like I said, for that to go on auto, the light it stays green majority of the time. The purpose is for the cones due to where, crazy drivers. New Brunswick doesn't give out tickets around here for anything. I'm just begging you, please, I want that one.
Thank you. Thank you.
If I may just say one
Yes,
more
sure.
word, I apologize. Danielle, it's a new signal. Take some time for people to acclimate. I will look into it. I'll talk to the school and the crossing guards, but there's a heavy presence of crossing guards there.
Anyone else?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Is there a motion to adjourn? All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.